Videos like this are made possible by our patrons and our YouTube members. Check the description of this video for more information, and we appreciate your support. For me, like, whenever Prince would release a song kind of in its final form, like, for me, that was like, he finally felt like he was done with it. Mm-hmm. And like, then he could be like, cool, I can put that thought aside. So when I'm comparing, like, even songs like New Power Generation and Bold Generation, like, New Power Generation has a whole third verse that isn't any other. It has the and kind of all the up and the down, and it kind of goes everywhere. Because that's what Prince would end up doing. Is that's what he did on Graffiti Bridge. It's what he did on Batman. That's what he did on the Hit and Runs. Like, he would take those old songs that were just like, here's a song I wrote 20 years ago, and then he adds layers and layers upon it.
Well,
you know.
I think the intention of him recording an early draft is exactly what it is. It's an early draft, and it's a basis for him to, listen to over and over again until he could say, you know what, in this part I'm going to do that, and that part I'm going to do this. This is gone, but I'm going to add that, and blah blah blah. And then when he feels it's perfect, he'll put it out.
Exactly. So when I get these unreleased demos and stuff like that, they like, it's cool to have them, but they don't feel complete. They don't feel like they've gotten the full Prince treatment for me. You know what I mean? So I think the final question that I have here, and I really want your guys' thought on this, is again, that Prince treatment that I talk about, right? Like, you have this song, it's in a form, but it's not necessarily its final form until Prince would take it, rework it, layer things on top, and see, like, and get that final version out. Do you want to see the estate continue releasing everything as is? Or do you think that they should bring somebody in to enhance these songs and do something like what Prince would do to make them into their final thing? Like, are we okay with just like, oh, we messed with some of the levels, here's the track? Well, or, we brought in Sheila E. and she added in some really awesome drums, or, we brought in Miko and Miko added a guitar solo where there wasn't one originally, but it makes the song better.
Well, I've kind of heard that's what they did with the originals, and I was happy with that release.
I knew it.
Now, see, I hadn't heard that they did that with the originals. Is that what they did?
Yeah.
Did they do 100 miles per hour? Because that's the one.
No, it wasn't 100 miles an hour. It was.
I looked at the credits. I didn't see any additional instruments or anything like that.
No. Not so much instrumentation as far as mixing and stuff. It was.
Okay.
And I'm almost 100% convinced myself that Manic Monday wasn't the way it was in the vault at all. I think they took one version of Manic Monday and they kind of mixed it together with another version of Manic Monday and came out with the final version that's on originals.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. So I don't even know how I feel about that. Like, if they were like, I have 4 different versions of Manic Monday here, let's take the best pieces of each and mash them all together. I think that's one thing. But what if they were to say, like I said, like something like, well, we have this song now, but you know what? Prince probably would have put a guitar solo right here. Yeah. So why don't we get somebody in to do some sort of like really cool guitar solo, and we can add it in and it enhances the song, but it's not necessarily, it's not Prince on there anymore, but it might be what Prince would have done.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
Do you think, because I was talking to Clint about this, like 100 miles per hour, did you, of course you heard it, but do you think that they added stuff to that?
I don't see how they could, because the quality of the track was so bad.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think they messed with that.
All right, fine.
I think
for me, it sounded like that was whatever was in the vault. That's what that was. So
because I've never heard that version, and I have 100 miles per hour.
I have 100 miles an hour too, and
that's not the right version.
The version I have is different from the release version.
Okay, so that's
it is because it has the keyboards, but the one on the originals didn't have the keyboard.
Right.
Well, and there might be even different versions that we don't have here. There might be even more versions of the songs in the vault. Yeah.
Because look at that. You see this list over here?
I think it depends on the song. And I think that's a personal thing, because if you're asking people who've heard the bootlegs, it's going to like affect.
It depends on who does it, to be honest, and how faithful they were to his notes, because he did write notes sometimes on his lyric sheets.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Maybe it was just enough for him to understand, and somebody out there might not understand it as much as he.
Yeah.
It's all up to interpretation, and I think that's dangerous sometimes, because the way I interpret something is going to be different than Prince's intention.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of a slippery slope for me.
No, it totally is. That's why I'm asking the question. I'm just curious as to, we have no real power to say what actually happens. But I'm just curious as to, what your feelings are on that. Because for me, it is a little bit of a slippery slope. I think it's one that I might invite it in, despite the fact that it might, there's the potential for it to go wrong, but there's also the potential for it to make these songs that, like I said, they're just, we adjusted some of the levels, here you go. It might allow me to have a better experience with these songs that are being taken out of the vault. At the same time, we definitely don't want a situation with the Michael Jackson album where there's fake people coming on and trying to pretend to be Michael on these songs. No, we definitely don't want any of that.
And no duets with, Justin Timberlake.
No.
Well, I mean, and like I said, so if you take Bold Generation, and let's just say Prince never redid Bold Generation, and we're just going to get it the way it is, and that's how it is. That means we would have never gotten, Lay Down Your Funky Weapon. We would have never gotten, Pardon Us for Karen. We know it's against the rules. We would have never gotten the carousel sounds, and we would have never gotten that version, because nobody would have taken that original song and kind of given it the care and the attention that it deserved to become its final version. And it's not even necessarily that people don't want to take the time, but who's going to take the time? How are they going to take the time? Who's going to oversee them taking the time? How can we trust that this person is going to treat it right?
And I just don't have that trust. That's the problem.
No. And I feel that. I was just curious as to what your guys' thoughts were on that, because my own thoughts are very conflicted.
Yeah, I don't mind if they leave it the way it is. Fine, clean it up, because the shit we have is horrible sounding, most of it. But we're happy with it. But adjust the levels, clean it. Do whatever you have to do, but don't change it.
Okay, so here's my second pitch to you guys. This is also something that I was thinking of. You can treat it kind of like how Prince would do maxi singles, right? So you'd be like, cool, we have this album of songs from the vault. Here they are remastered exactly how they were in the vault. And then we say, but here's track 2 redone with Sheila E. Now here's track 4 redone by Refugee Camp. You know what I'm saying? You could take it and you could have people kind of remix them, add things, add some of their own creativity, but you still have the core song as well.
Well, you know what? Then I probably wouldn't have minded that much, because at least his intention was there, and it's not being overlaid by, or set aside for, this other version.
Okay.
Yeah. That
Masina seemed against that. Masina didn't seem like she liked that idea.
I wouldn't even listen to it. I wouldn't.
Well, I mean, at least it's there, but at least you're not losing out on the original intention.
Well, can you elaborate more on that? Why wouldn't you listen to it?
Yes, why wouldn't you listen to it?
Because I'm a hard-headed person.
Because you're closed-minded, that's why.
And even if it sounded good, I would hate it.
Well, here. So? Let's go back to Escape, Michael Jackson's Escape.
Okay.
Love Never Felt So Good, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've had that as a bootleg forever. And The Justin Timberlake one wasn't horrible. But it wasn't great either. And it kind of soiled the song a little bit.
Right.
But they released a version where you had both versions. Like you had all the dub versions and then you had all the redone versions. Then I didn't mind it as much. Because, it didn't erase the original.
Yeah.
You understand?
I think for me, it depends on who it is and who's doing it.
Right. Well, and I'm not even, well, and me, I'm not even saying like there needs to be duets and stuff because I actually am not a huge fan of duetting with people who have passed. It feels weird to me. I'm more saying like just kind of mixing the song, adding layers, doing different things with the song.
Okay, yeah, you're good.
But the song itself would still be the song.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But like he said, like if they release it as both and you have both versions, I'd be completely okay with that. Personally.
I'd be fine with it. Yeah. I'd be fine with it.
Oh, I thought you meant like them adding drums and things that were missing that they felt were. I mean,
well, yeah, essentially that's what he's saying.
Yeah,
but
that is also part of what I'm saying.
I'm confused.
Like, well, no, because here's the thing.
Mix it just so it could hear it.
But here's the thing, though, right? Like, let's take the song "Extra Lovable," right? I love that song too. But what version of that song do you love? Do you love the early '80s version, or do you love one of the two versions that he released in the 2010s? Like, I actually really love the version on Hit and Run Phase 2 way more than the original version.
Actually, really? Wow. Okay.
but that's the thing, though, right? Is that's the argument that you're going to have with people,
right?
Because even Prince can't take a song and rework it and people are happy. People still aren't happy, and he's doing it to his own music.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
well, the version on the actual album is actually not bad. The one that he released before, like the giveaway single that he did, you know which one I'm talking about.
That's one of the two versions.
Yeah, I don't appreciate that one. I appreciate the one that he actually released on album better.
Yeah,
but out of all of them, for me, it's the 1999 version that wasn't on 1999.
Of course. Well, and that is the acceptable like answer in the Prince community is you have to prefer the early 80s version. Right. But that's why I am counterculture, because I don't prefer it.
Right. But if they released it and they took out the section that was controversial, I would have an issue with it.
Then exactly.
Because then you just changed the song.
Well, see, and that's for me, that's why I was like, well, then leave it off then. Like you're going to be pissing off people way more if you release it, but you change it.
Yeah, I'd rather them not put it on than cut the song.
Yeah, just leave it.
I'd go nuts. I would have a rant video. I would have been all over it.
Well, and again for me, right? That song, I feel like that song was not released by Prince for a reason as well, right? Mm-hmm. He's like, this isn't like, maybe this was him like I could tell like that was him exploring. Like that was him exploring those dark, thoughts and like that style of music and like all, and like that's what that song was for. It was never meant, in my opinion, to be like, hey, also this album includes Extra Lovable. It's like it's not that kind of song, So
although it totally fit in within the 1999 feel.
Yes,
it totally would have fit in the album.
No, it definitely would have, but I understand why he held it back. I understand why the label held it back. I understand why it remained a bootleg for so long. I also understand why later on he decided to be like, hey, like, this is a song that I actually really liked from back in the day. I'm going to rework it. I'm going to make it into more of kind of a romantic song, more loving instead of like, and I'm going to add some horns on it. It'll be great. And it was wonderful.
Like I said, I do like the one. I like the horns in it. It's a really good song. I was lucky enough to see the video of it.
Yeah.
And The video was actually really cool. Actually, both of us saw the video. Yeah, we saw the video. Yeah, like my choice would always be the 82 version, because it's actually my top 5 unreleased song.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's within my top 5. Actually, it's within my top 10 of music. Period. Of his.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a strong statement. I think we might have to unpack that one at a different time.
Right.
Because I think we're actually out of time here on my channel here. But thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with me and talking, Graffiti Bridge bootlegs and stuff like that.
Well, thank you for having us.
Definitely. And if you want to check out more of Clint and Masina, definitely go to the Purple Politicians. I subscribe to them. You should all subscribe to them. They're great. Oh, yeah. And don't forget, obviously, to hit like on this video and all that stuff. And we're going to do another video that we're going to be talking over on their channel about something completely different. So go check them out over there. And I'll be there. It'll be wonderful. Otherwise, may you live to see the dawn. Love you guys all. See you later.